Hi, I'm Christine, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a wired mesh candy cane wreath. So these are some of the things that you need in order to make your project. First you need a wired mesh candy cane wreath, and next you will need Chanille Stems, or I think we used to call these pipe cleaners. Anyway, they usually come in a pack of 40, but you'll probably only need 20, depending on how full you want to make your candy cane wreath. And then you'll need the colors that you like. This is called Elegance, but it's called mesh, 6-inch mesh. And it usually comes 6 inches by 5 yards. So you'll need 3 of your main color if you want to do 2 colors, and 1 of an accent color if you like, if you want to mix them up, or you can get 4 rolls and that would be plenty. You'll also need a ruler, and you'll need a scissor or wire cutters, but scissors work well. You'll need to add on, after you add your mesh wire on, you'll need to add on, if you like, you can pick up any kind of picks and balls, ribbon, bows, ornaments, reindeer, berries with bells. And wired ribbon is easier to work with, so I would suggest getting some wired ribbon. 3 yards is fine, but you won't need probably to use the whole thing. So these items can be obtained from the easiest place to find and the least expensive place to find the wired mesh, either a regular wreath, round wreath, or a candy cane wreath, is at the dollar store. They do have them at Joann's, but they will be a little bit more pricey there. Same thing with the mesh. You can get the mesh from the wired store, depending on what they have and colors they have that you may like. But you can also find them at Joann's or Michael's. They will be a little bit more at those stores. And then your picks, you can get a variety of picks from the dollar store or Joann's, Michael's, or even at like a store like Amazing Savings would have lovely picks and baubles and decorations and ribbons and bows. Okay, so now that we've gone through where you can get your items from and the least expensive places that you can find certain things at would be the dollar store, we'll begin in putting together our wired mesh candy cane wreath. So first thing we're going to start off with is actually we're going to cut the Chanille stem. We're going to cut a couple of them in half. So you can just fold them in half. They cut very easily, so you really don't need a wire cutter, but if you happen to have one, you can use it. And we just cut these in half. I'll just cut up a few to give you an idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so we have those. And then we need to measure the mesh to 8 inches. So all of these pieces will be cut in 8 inches. And then I'll show you how to put them together. So 8 inches is going to be right about here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut 4 of the mesh into 8 inches, and we're going to be rolling them up in 4s. I have some already cut up here, so I'll just cut 2 more so I can show you how to make 2 sets. And actually you can use whatever you use to measure and cut as long as you come up with 8 inches of mesh. All right, so what I had started doing already was rolling the mesh up and using some with all red because I had more red, and then some with a mixture of red and beige. So what you do is you're going to roll up the mesh like so, so that you end up with a mesh roll that looks like this. And try to keep your edging, if you're going to hold it, to the back. If you have trouble holding and rolling, you can take a scissor or something to hold it down. Or if you have an extra hand, a husband, boyfriend, friend, spouse, millennium, whoever's hand you can borrow, you can use it if it's hard to roll and hold. But when you do roll and hold, try to hold the mesh, the rolled mesh, towards the back of your hand, because you want try to get all of the ends facing the same way. So I have one roll. I'm going to roll 2 more. Three, and I have my 4th one there. And 4. And you can just scrunch them up some kind of a way. Take your stem, your cut stem, and place it so that the tie is in the back. And this will be your first rolled up wire mesh. And this will go along the candy cane wreath as you go. The fuller you want to have your candy cane mesh wreath, the fuller you would like to have it, the more of these 4 pods of mesh roll you will need. If you don't want it that full, then you can just make less. If you want it fuller, you can make more. I just seem to need 1 more, and we'll have 4 for the next roll. And then I can show you what else we're going to do here. So this is 1 more. And I'm only doing, I'm doing these 2 to show you that, it does look nice if you have 2 different colors. It can all be the same color, or you can, do 2 colors, you can do 3 colors, you can even do 4 colors if you like. And so whichever way you would like to do it, and the way that you think it will look the nicest. It's 2. This is 3. And 4. And the wire mesh, you can get, since I'm using 2 colors here, I just went ahead and, making them all uniform, I'm making them all red. But if you have 2 colors and you feel that you want to, mix the colors up with the wire mesh, you can get a beige and a red. You're welcome to. So with these wired stems, you just twist, and there you go. So what we're going to be doing is placing these, you can start at the bottom or you can start at the curve. Either one is okay. I think I'd like to start at the bottom. And you're going to twist the wired stems onto the mesh. And you can just arrange them in any way, shape, form, or fashion that you'd like to arrange them. So that's what we're going to be doing now, is putting the mesh twist onto the candy cane, and we're just twisting it onto the wired mesh wreath. Hi, I'm back. So this is how far I've gotten so far. I've put the wired rolled up mesh I've attached them onto the wired candy cane wreath, and this is how it looks. And we're halfway there. So I'm going to continue on and finish up, and then I'll be back. Hi folks, I'm back. So I'm down to the wire, as they say. Just a little joke there. But I have just 2 more to place in. And totally, I believe I made 23, 24 of these rolled mesh doohickeys, for lack of a better word. And that used up completely 4 rolls of mesh. I know it's a little fuller down at the bottom, I think, than up at the top. So you can, maneuver them around, adjust them to make them so that you're not really seeing the wire candy cane wreath itself, and it's all covered by one's coming loose here. It's all covered by the mesh. You can also, if you see ends sticking out or loose mesh poking out, you can just go around it with a scissor and just trim it to make all the even ends all even. And this is about the end of the wired mesh being attached to the candy cane wreath. So you kind of just maneuver them around and, just to make them cover up the candy cane wreath itself. Pick and pull here and there. And little ends that are sticking out, you can just, some of them pull off or you can cut them off. And this is how it should end up looking. And this is your candy cane wreath. Now, I should have mentioned before that on one side the wreath is hollowed, kind of hollowed out, and it bulges out on the other side. So where I attach the mesh to is the area that bulges out, and I think that will give you a better fit. I put the mesh on, when I started off putting the mesh, I put one on, well, not here, I put it pretty much in the middle on this side, but when I started at the bottom, I put one on the left side, and one on the right side. And then as I moved down, I put one in the middle and kind of rotated that. One on the left, one on the right, one in the middle. And that's how, I kind of work my way up with this. And if you have any little gaps, you can always add more mesh, or you can just maneuver your mesh around so that you don't see any gaps. So this is my candy cane mesh. It's not finished yet because now we're going to add our little picks in them. This is my fun part. Hi folks, I'm back. So we've completed the candy cane, wired candy cane wreath. And this is how it looks. And I have my picks here, some of my picks that we can start to place in. So I have a hot glue gun here. What you can do, and keep this away from any little hands that may be around, and also be careful because the tip does get very hot. If it gets on your skin, just roll it to get it off quickly. But I'm going to start putting some of the picks on or in. I'm not going to glue them. I'm just going to give you an idea of how the picks can look. I like this one because it actually has a clip to it. So this is a star. I'm going to put it kind of near the side there at an angle. That's our little star. And then, you can just place your other picks in, get an idea of where you want them. You don't have to glue them right yet until you finally made your decision as to where you want to put your picks. And after you do decide, you can just cut them. This you might need a wire cutter for. It would be helpful, or a garden cutter. It's a little tough to cut with a scissor. But for now, you can just push them in and you can see where you would like to place your picks. So I'm just gonna, put them casually in for now. And, you guys, when you make yours, you can decide where you would like to put your picks. So I have one here already cut off. You can just kind of just stick it in here. And I'll just cut another one off and just stick it in there. So I know sometimes I may get a little overboard with the picks, but you can keep it kind of simple because it looks nice just with the mesh on. So this is how it actually looks. And if you wanted to put a bow somewhere in the mist, I'll show you how to make a bow, though this one doesn't really require one because there's so much going on as it is. But if you would like to place a bow onto your candy cane wreath, usually I like to get the ribbon that's about 3 inches. This is a 1.5 inch one, but we can work with it. This is supposed to be a somewhat simple bow. So what you'll do is you're going to start off by folding the bow this way just to make a little loop. Just hold. And one thing about the wired mesh is that you can twist it and it will hold. So you're just going to take it a half a twist around, because let me hold it with my left, let me hold it this way. Okay, so I just took a half a twist around, and I want the top of my ribbon here to match that I have the same top of the ribbon over on this side. And you can kind of eyeball it. You don't have to measure it, but maybe start with a 2 to 3 inch bend in your ribbon on one side and pinch, and then twist it so that the right side again meets. All right sides are facing you, and you can just bend this underneath about a 2.5 to 3 inch bend, and you're going to hold this, okay, and then you're going to pull your ribbon out with that 1/2 inch turn. You're going to pull it out about 4 inches on this side and grab and hold, and see how your ribbon is facing the wrong side. You want to do that 1/2 inch twist around so that you're back on the right side, and you're going to do another 4 inch loop on this side, and you can keep going like this, but always remember you need to twist it so that your right side is facing you. So I did about a 2.5 inch loop, 4 inch loop, and what I do on one side I'm doing on the other side. This is our middle loop, and then our 2.5 inch loop on the other side, and our 4 inch loop. You can go one more time. I think I have enough here to do that. So now let's do a 6 inch loop or so. If you want to measure it with a ruler, you're welcome to. I'm just eyeballing it. And this is a 6 inch loop over here. Remember, twist it so you want all the loops facing the same way, facing the right side, facing you. And now I have a 6 inch loop on the other side, and I think that's enough for looping. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to figure and see about how much you want your ties to extend. I'm going to make them maybe roughly about 7-8 inches. So what I'm going to do is just loop this up so that you know both will be the same amount of inches, and then you're just going to cut it right here. Okay, now you've been holding that, and what you can do, if your hot glue gun is plugged in, you can very well put a dab of glue there, or you can get one of your stems that you have already cut, one of the chenille stems that you have cut, and take one of those cut stems if you have one cut, and I think we do, yes, and you can just push it through the center and twist it just like you twisted the mesh over there for the candy cane. Okay, just give that a nice tight twist. And then what you're going to do, let's make sure this is even, and then you can cut your ribbon to make your ties. And there you have it, your nice easy bow. And then you can fluff these up as much as you want. And the hardest thing probably will be is, where should I put it? On the candy cane wreath. But what you can do is give these a nice little cut. You can cut like a V if you want, or you can cut a slant. Either way, your ribbon will be lovely. This is a slanted cut. I'm sorry, this is the V cut. It's cut like a V, or you can just cut it straight up and that would be a slant cut. And there's your ribbon. So you can figure out where you would like to put the ribbon. It can go near the bottom. It can go up near your star. And then you might want to take a pick out if you put it up near your star. Maybe you wouldn't need this pick here. You can figure out where you would like your ribbon to go. And then when you decide where, you can either attach it to the mesh wire, you can attach it to the candy cane wire with the Chanille stems, the wired stems, or you can give it a dab with a hot glue gun and you can attach it that way. Either way, just as long as you make sure that it's going to stay. For right now, I'm going to attach it with the stem, the wired stem. The wired stem to the candy cane wired wreath. And that's it. That's your decorated candy cane. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching.